Hey guys, this is Allie and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing some tips on setting up a rabbit enclosure on a budget. So if you have a rabbit or if you've done enough research on one, then you know that their care is not the cheapest and it can get very expensive in some countries. So because of that, I decided to make this video to perhaps help minimize that cost so you can spend some money on other things that you'd rather buy. So obviously you're going to need a lot of things, and some things you will have to buy, but a lot of it there are cheaper options. So let's just get started with the first tip. So obviously the first thing you're going to need is an enclosure, and the cheapest thing to do for an enclosure would be to free roam. And you could free roam in a room, and this would be cheapest because all you need is bunny proofing supplies. If you don't have extra room, large walk-in closets would work as well. And this would be cheapest because all you need to buy is bunny-proofing supplies. You don't need a pen or a cage at all. But obviously, a lot of people can do this because it is hard to find that space. And usually people with rabbits might be kids and their parents won't allow it. Because of that, an enclosure that you could use is NIC grids. I highly recommend NIC grids over X pens for their size because in Canada, X pens can get really expensive. It's at least $80 for a decent sized one with a door and proper height. And NIC grids are a lot better because you can customize them and you can use them for a lot of different purposes as well. Now, the next thing that you're going to need is flooring and bedding. So for your flooring, you can use old beach towels, fleeces, blankets, rugs, etc. that you don't use anymore for yourself, and you can just use them to line your rabbit's enclosure for the flooring. If you don't have any of those, stores like IKEA and Dollarama also sell bath mats, rugs, and blankets that you can get for cheap, and you can also check out things such as thrift stores. Next are the necessities. So this includes like litter box, water dish, food dish, hideouts, and litter. So for the litter, you can get them from Dollarama for cheap. I buy my litter box from Dollarama. It's like $3. And you can also use any large plastic container that you might have at home. Just make sure that your rabbit can lie down in it fully. And I recommend nothing smaller than 24 inches by 18 inches for a rabbit. Now, the next thing is the litter. For the litter, the cheapest option would be to use wood stove pellets or horse stall pellets. They're similar, and these are just pellets that are compressed wood, and these are very absorbent, and you can get them in a 40-pound bag for about $6 at places like Home Depot or Canadian Tire. For your water dish and food dish, you can just really use any dish that you have at home. It can be any heavy ceramic dish just because you don't want your rabbit tossing it all around, or you can just get a cheap one at the dollar store. Next thing is hideouts, and these could easily be made out of cardboard boxes that you just cut 2 holes in, or you could even make it out of NIC grids, an old step stool with a towel over it, or even DIY one like make a fleece forest or make a fleece tunnel. Now the last topic is toys, and for toys you can DIY a lot of them. I've done a lot of videos on DIY toys you can make for your rabbits, and I'll leave the links to those down in the description if you're interested, but you can use things like cardboard, wood from outside, packing paper, jute, popsicle sticks, and repurpose old toys, and just do a lot with DIYs. And honestly, most of the toys that Odyssey really likes are DIYs, and I think that DIYs are a great money-saving alternative for toys. So another thing that you can do for toys is to look at Dollarama. Dollarama has a lot of different toys for pets, not necessarily rabbits, but they can work for rabbits. So their cat toys, they have this interactive cat feeder, and you can use that for foraging toys. They also have these cat balls, which you can stuff food in or use them as throw toys for your rabbit. They also have a pop-up cat cube, which is a great hideout. Now, they also have a lot of dog toys and dog things like beds and blankets that you can use, and they also have different balls, but you just want to be careful with those because if your rabbit's a heavy chewer, then I wouldn't get those. Now, they also have baby toys at Dollarama and baby blankets, and those can also be really helpful. You can use the blankets to sew fleece items for your rabbit, and for the toys, you can buy things like baby key rings or baby stacking cups. Just make sure that they're hard plastic so your rabbit won't chew on them. So here's just the sample setup that I made for Odyssey using mainly DIYs and trying to make it most on a budget as I can. Obviously the enclosure itself was not really budget because we bought it a long time ago, but the rest it really is. So a lot of the things are either DIY, like the hay bag or the foraging box, and then there's also things that we had in the past, like all the towels, sheets, and fleece that I use in the enclosure. The rug we got for cheap from IKEA. The bath mat we got for cheap from Dollarama. And then there's like cardboard box hideouts, and then like a bed that we got from Dollarama. And as you can see, you can really DIY and get a lot of things for cheap for rabbit, just to make the cost of owning them a little lower. So obviously rabbits aren't cheap pets to own. This is just trying to help like subsidize the cost a little bit. Obviously, if you don't have rabbits already and you're thinking about getting them, make sure to consider the vet fees as well, as they're very expensive and be upwards of $500 for a spay or neuter even. So you want to be really careful when you're thinking about that, and if you can't pay for that, then maybe choose a different pet than a rabbit if you're considering getting a pet. So this will be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and please let me know if this was helpful and what videos you would like to see next. And I hope you guys all have a great day or night. Be sure to like, subscribe, and maybe turn on post notifications as well. Bye.